Assalamu alaikum, family. Peace, peace. I'm your brother in the struggle, Brother Minister Alif. And today I would like to share with you sense and nonsense, intuition and instinct, our higher self and our lower self. Okay, let's look at this for a moment. In 1972, in the Theology of Time, the messenger explained that one day he was thinking about the beauty of Master Fard Muhammad's teachings, and he basically, in his own mind, said, "Okay, let me try this out." And he thought some thoughts, and those thoughts materialized in the physical world. Now we have to be mindful that this is a real power, but at the same time, the messenger warns us, if you play with Islam, it's like playing with fire. So you have to be careful with the thoughts and ideas that come from within and without. You have to be careful about what you allow to come into your brain and what you put out of your brain. Some people, they'll think a negative thought and say something negatively. Some people put up two fingers and say peace. Some people put up one finger and say F you. But the mind is not concerned with the polarity. The messenger said to us that Dr. Yaqub Malik Shabazz discovered the law of polarity over 6,000 years ago while playing with two pieces of steel. And it's relevant because that's how the human brain operates. That's how the heart operates. That's how the atoms operate. That's how the planet Earth, the moon, the sun, the stars, the atom, everything operates off of that basic mathematical premise. So in the Bible, those of you that have Bibles or Qurans can follow along. Turn to 1 Kings chapter 3, verse 9. Here we see that King Solomon had prayed for the power of discernment. He wanted to have the ability to tell if something was good or evil, positive or negative, of God or of the devil. The Holy Quran teaches the same thing, but in a different way. Let us turn to the Holy Quran in Surah or chapter 7, verse 172, as far as inner proofs, if you will, or intuition and instinct. It teaches us that Allah summoned all of humanity and had them bear witness for themselves. He asked them, "Am I not your Lord?" They all, 100% of them said, "Yes, we bear witness." Thus, everyone is born with an instinctive knowledge about God. See, you may not know his name is Allah. You may not know if he's a he or a she. You may not know if he's Muslim, Christian, atheist, whatever, but something in you by nature, as the messenger explained in 1965, the message to the black man in America, we are born knowing that there is something or someone greater than ourselves. We may not know our connection to that power, but we intuitively move like that. Every form of life moves like that. I don't care what it is, whether it's trees growing, ants in a colony, birds flying south for the winter, dolphins using sonar, fish swimming in a school, soldiers on the battlefield, FOIs, MGTs, Christians, Muslims, atheists, everyone. There are some atheists that know more about atheism than other atheists. There are some Muslims that know more about Islam than other Muslims. There's some Christians that know their Bible better than other Christians. So that's just something that we find in the human family. So let us look at the difference real briefly. All right, the higher self is intuition. Master Fard Muhammad, remember, as I always tell you, I'm going to keep telling you, Master Fard Muhammad explained we have 7 mind dimensions: the physical, emotional, mental, spiritual, soul, the self, and the will. He teaches us we have 9 forces which balances our equilibrium. You know, if somebody push you right there, See, martial artists train you, they know how to do that panther thrust right there, boom, and knock a man completely off his feet, boom. Now, some scientists, they like to classify everything. All life forms, they like to put them in classifications. But that's not a holistic way of looking at life forms. Know what I mean? But for the sake of argument, we're going to use their concept for a brief moment here. All right? They basically classify human beings as operating with intuition and animals operating with instinct. That's kind of disrespectful to animals. You know what I mean? For human beings to think that animals are stupid, that animals can't talk, that animals can't write. Like they may not write A, B, C, D, but they know how to mark their territories and communicate with each other. You know, a cat can follow another cat. I mean, a lion knows its place. Now, I mean, so you can't say that insects and bugs and birds and fish and dogs and lions and tigers and bears are stupid just because they can't think on the same plane as us. Because amongst humans, we all don't think on the same plane. Some of us have mental challenges. Some of us didn't complete school. Some of us could speak 10 different languages. Some of us are highly intelligent, but they stupid as far as street smart. Some of us are highly street smart and never been to school. You got some that graduate and they broke. You got some that never even went to school and they get money. You know what I mean? So I like to look at things holistically. All right. So as opposed to looking at it in the concept of where intelligent beings and the animals are dumb creatures. I mean, this is why people look at them like, oh, we just kill them and use them as mules and slaves and just eat them and wear their cloth and just do whatever. No, you're supposed to respect them. That's why Muhammad taught us. He said, respect all forms of life, even the insects of the earth, because everything created serves Allah's purpose. Now, I mean, some of these insects and animals can do things humans cannot do. I mean, some of them can remember more than us. Some of them can live longer than us. Some of them can run faster than us. Some of them are stronger than us. I mean, some of them, that's not saying that they're human. I mean, we're the ones that classify ourselves as human. Now, I mean, we be like, oh, if we draw in a cave, now, I mean, a picture of a cow, only humans can identify that painting. I mean, but what if you was walking in the grass and you lost your dog? You don't know where's it at. A lion knows where's it at. He can read the signs. He can read. He can read the footprints of the zebras, the gazelles. Now, I mean, they can smell. They have intuitive information in that DNA also. Now, I mean, so I don't want to make it cut and dry. Now, I mean, I want you to look at things holistically, no matter what it is, for that matter. All right, but for the sake of argument, let's look at human beings operating with intuition and instinct. Let's classify our intuition as simply our higher self, and let's take the instinct as our lower self. All right. Now, intuition is a sense of inner peace and safety. But our instinct is a feeling of compulsion or fleeing. See, if you live in the suburbs, for example, you may not feel as though you got to lock your car, lock your doors for that matter. I mean, but if you lived in the projects, or you lived down Kensington, Allegheny in Philadelphia, or you lived down North Philly, South Philly, West Philly, Germantown, Erie Avenue, and you're outside at nighttime, you're going to have a heightened sense, not based on just intuition, but also your instinct. See, your intuition makes you confident. Your instinct makes you insecure. Your intuition is no strong physical impulse, but instinct is like you just feel it in your gut. It's like a twinge in your gut. You can physically feel it, like the adrenaline in your body will actually send signals and messages to your brain like, yo, something ain't right. Get out of here. That's a survival instinct. That's that reptilian brain. You have both. You have your modern day intuition, your God self, and you have your lower self, your devilish self. Now, I mean, if you take a pebble and toss it in the grass, and the rabbit's ear is going to go up. What the heck was that? It's going to use instinct. Its heartbeat going to start beating. What the heck's going on? Now, I mean, you see horror movies. Now, I mean, when the monster's coming and the person running and they hide somewhere and they hear that instinct, like, oh man, the monster's near. I mean, the lion is near us. I may get killed in the jungle if the lion can see me and smell me and I can't see it and smell. If I don't have the use of fire or weapons, now my brain can give me tools that gives me the ability to harmonize and elevate back into intuition. I'm like, oh, I got a rifle, I got fire, I got a perch that I built. I got a cave with a stone door on it. I ain't where them lions can't get in here. So if you produce a place of peace, if you produce inner peace, it can transform your instinct back to your intuition, and vice versa. If you lose that, if you see that lion dug under, if you see a hole underneath the stone, you're like, oh, there's something crawled in here last night. Yeah, you hear something in the back, it's like, oh, all that gangster stuff, that intuition goes right back to your instinct. All right. So intuition is basically like an inner voice. It's you talking to you. All right. Where your instinct is more like a reaction to exterior sounds. That's why I gave you the analogy of tossing the pebble in the grass or stepping on a twig or something like that there. That sound wave traveling 1,120 feet per second is not equal to that thought traveling 24 billion miles per second. But that sound can make you instantly, oh, what's up, son? I mean, it'd be like, I remember back in the day when I was in the Dunya. Now I mean, we down like Broad and Tioga. They had an old pool hall that for Temple brought that all up back in the day. It was a pool hall down there. I'm down in the pool hall. You know what I mean? We doing our little thing, hustling, whatever, and we getting a little beef. Now there's 3 of us and there's 3 of them. Know what I mean? And we get to ripping in the pool hall. Young, dumb. But in the midst of this, I hear somebody, I'm like, oh, that was a gun. I mean, I immediately was like, oh, forget the fight. And we got to find out who. They got a gun. They take the full advantage. Now, they going to gun us, they going to kill us. Know what I mean? But my instinct got us up out of there. I mean, so you can be walking down the street and you not having a beef. It's nothing even going on with you. You chilling. Know what I mean? And you walking and your inner voice be like, don't go down that street. What? Don't go down that street. Why? You take your butt down the street. Hasta la vista. You listen to that self-accusing spirit, as the Holy Quran calls it. You listen to that human intuition. Who knows what you avoided? Now, some people look at it like it's a mystery God. I don't believe in no mystery God. But as the Holy Quran adequately explains in chapter 7, verse 172, Allah summoned all of humanity and had them bear witness for themselves, because the law don't need to ask a question. He intuitively, instinctively already knows the beginning, the middle, and the end of everything. You know what I mean? So it's to teach us a lesson. So this is the revelation that we're getting. You know what I mean? He said, am I not your Lord? Am I not the God? Am I not Allah? I mean, And they all said, yes, we bear witness. This teaches us that Allah doesn't have to have us take a shahada. We don't have to read the Quran, get baptized, none of that. Now, I mean, Jesus was like, listen, this criminal that just bear witness who I am, he gonna be in heaven with me today. They be like, but you didn't baptize him. He didn't get saved. I mean, his faith saved him. He saved himself. It's a science there. Now, I mean, but organized religion take that natural intuition, that natural instinct away from the true believers. And what they do is they supplant it with evil resolutions and try to control the way you think. Now, your intuition and your instinct is going to always tell you the truth. You're going to be like rebelling against it, but they're going to convince you. Your peer pressure is going to convince you, oh, no, it's okay. You just, you know what I mean, join the cult. I mean, you know, he's the most high. I mean, just obey. Don't think. Don't question. God works in mysterious ways. They tell you all these things to take your God power from you. And when they finish with you, you become just a shell of yourself. So now your thing is you no longer think for yourself. You think only in a group. You think only what other people think. You only echo what others say. You're not intuition, an actionary. You're instinct, a reactionary. See, intuition is that natural ability, like you know good from evil, right from wrong. But law is given for the mentally dead. The law is given because you're moving off your instinct. And once you are able to discern between intuition and instinct, you start elevating and moving amongst the gods. So basically, psychologists would call it cognitive or behavioral, but it's actually actions and reactions. You know what I mean? And in this world of social media, they know how to play on your mind. They know that the human brain is easy to trick. See, that's what we don't realize. It's real easy to fool the human brain. Psychologists understand that. You know what I mean? You know, and advertisers use that. You know what I mean? People be like, oh, if you're listening to negative music, it ain't gonna bother you. You know what I mean? I listen to gangster music all the time. And it's like, nah. I mean, why do you think advertisers will pay $1 million for 30 seconds for their product? Why do you think people, when they play these videos, they stop the video and be like, buy this, buy that, buy this, buy that? Because that little subliminal message, I mean, you go to the movie theater, they'll show it in a blink of an eye. You won't even know, but now you be like, I'm thirsty. I mean, they just told you was thirsty. You might just ate and you be like, I'm hungry. That's Pablo's dog. They every time he ring the bell, his saliva glands kick in. He just ate, but his stomach start churning. He's hungry again because he's programmed. And this is what we have to be careful about. There are positive programs and negative programs, satanic programs and Allah's programs. We follow Messenger Elijah Muhammad's program. The messenger's program is based on natural law. The messenger thing is there's no compulsion in Islam. His thing is, I don't want you to believe if you don't want to believe. Forced faith is no faith to Messenger Elijah Muhammad. He's like, no, you have to come willingly and submit your will to the will of Allah. If you don't want to, you're like, go ahead, I mean, peace. Now, I mean, we're not going to whip you. We're not going to tie you down and force you to believe in Master Muhammad and Messenger Elijah Muhammad. We like, I mean, do your thing. But out of love for you, we're going to offer it. We'll share it. Now, I mean, you know, our lesson, Lost Found Mouse lesson number 2, the 1 to 40 teaches us that's how we get your blood off our hands. We warned you. I mean, now, you can't say you didn't hear the messenger's message to guide you out of this age of mess, because it comes in so many forms, so many platforms. Now, I mean, through so many mediums. Now, I mean, but it's up to you. Now, I mean, you have to choose. Now, one of the things I want to show you is this. Little sloppy stuff. But you see how easy it is to draw a happy face, a sad face, and even an angry face, even a drunk or high face. I'm just joking around right there. But the point is, how do you draw a jealous face? How do you draw an envy face? You ask a child, draw a picture of a happy face. They'll draw it. Draw a picture of a angry face. They could draw that too. Draw a picture of an envious face, a jealous face. Our beloved brother, Minister Jabril Muhammad, formerly known as Bernard Kushmer, he touched on that years ago. And it was right on point. And it's an important principle because it's difficult to draw or manifest the physical expression of envy and jealousy. Because an envious person can smile in your face. A jealous person could be sad because they wish they had what you got. They could be angry because they ready to take what you got. Or they could be drunk. They could just be tripping. I mean, but player haters is real. And you got to realize that they function off of instinct and intuition too. So there's two forces to everything. The law of polarity is still there. You can have intuition from God and intuition from Satan. Intuition from positive forces and intuition from negative forces. Intuition from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, intuition from jinn. Intuition from Jesus, intuition from demon. Intuition from right, intuition from wrong. Intuition from light, intuition from darkness. So the law does not nullify the law of polarity. It operates in harmony according to the law of vibration. How are you vibrating? Are you vibrating on a higher plane or a lower plane? Now, I mean, sometimes we get so caught up in the street, everything is based on instinct. That famous picture of Malcolm X with the rifle peeping out, that's instinct. The picture of Malcolm X on the rostrum in front of the police, fearless, that's intuition. There's the same person, two different forces. Same person, vibrating high, vibrating low. It's the same with you and I. Know what I mean? In the Bible, in the book of Job, chapter 38, verse 36, it teaches us wisdom is in our inward parts. Think about that. Why is the Bible teaching us that wisdom is in our inward parts? It makes sense in this modern day and time. We would say our DNA. There's something that is in us, not you and me only. I'm talking frogs and dogs and cats and bears and pigs and horses. I mean, there's something in life forms that gives it intuitive information, natural knowledge, instinctive, as well as intuitive. It's like, yeah, we know that the rabbit ears will go up if it hears a strange sound, but it's something in the peace and comfort of the bee that just knows how to form a honeycomb. It just intuitively knows how to let the colony know where the nectar are in the flowers. There's something about the baby bird coming out of the shell that never been on this planet ever. And it's like, I know something teaches me. I ain't read no books. I ain't go to no schools, but something inside me tells me to fly south for the winter. I mean, it's like it's something in silver trout that tells them, do not integrate with that school of piranha fish coming this way. We got to swim this way. Piranha's coming. It's something intuitively in every life form like that. Know what I mean? And it can be the peace. Know what I mean? It could be ants building a beautiful colony. Know what I mean? It can be termites building a beautiful mound. It could be birds gathering straw, making a perfect nest. And you'd be like, excuse me, miss, who taught you how to make your own house? Who built your own house? It's in my DNA. I just knew how to do it. It's something told me just grab this. I know not to get this kind of straw, but I get this kind of twigs, this kind, and I build the nest that's able to keep the egg dry when it rains, the water go through it. I'm able to feed them. They safe from the predators and stuff like that. I mean, it's something in the lower so-called life forms like that. That intuition in the Arabic language is called kashf. It's insight. It's intuition. It's that information that's encoded in your very being. Now I mean, and the ability to discern. So Job chapter 38, verse 36 teaches us that the wisdom is in our inner parts. Now I mean, that's extra sensory knowledge, if you will, and it's rooted in our own psychology. See, the mind, as the message teaches, the mind of woman is infinite, capable of accomplishing anything that the brain can conceive. The spirit is subjected to us, and we're not subjected to the spirit. See, the spirit is just a dimension of thought. So you got the physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual. That's mid-level thinking right there, the spiritual plane. Jesus, Lord, Akbar, I make a select. That's fine, but you're not on the God plane, and you're not on the devil. You ain't in the street, but you ain't conscious either. You're in mid-level. You stay there. You're like the proletariat. You're like the working class. You'll help the rich get richer, and you'll help the poor get poorer. I mean, and you don't want to be neither this nor that. You don't want to be wishy-washy. You don't want to be sitting on the fence. You don't want to be neither hot nor cold, as Jesus said. Now, I mean, if it's the water lukewarm, you spit it out your mouth. Now, I mean, it's better that you be hot or cold. You have to use these laws of polarity. You have to make a choice. You have to make a decision. You have to decide within yourself what you're going to do with your life. What you're going to do to better this world before you leave this world. Now, I mean, what you're going to do to help people to help themselves. Now, I mean, that don't mean you have to be all the way in the struggle. Being in the struggle could be taking care of your children. Being in the struggle could be getting your education. Being in the struggle could be opening up your own barbershop, selling final calls. Muhammad speaks. Being in the struggle be taking care of your elders, taking care of the orphans. I mean, helping the young boys with mediation and stopping wars happening on the street. All that plays its part. Now, I mean, so the messenger told us in the officer's manual, actually the Supreme Captain, Raymond Sharif, back in the day, he basically pointed out to us how the good officer is able to basically know his men better than they know themselves. He's able to predict or project based on mathematics, based on training, based on observation. The first law of learning is observation, but in analyzing them, deputizing, scrutinizing them, he can actually prophesize. Oh, brother so-and-so, he ain't built for that. Sister so-and-so, she built like that. Brother so-and-so, he can take care of that. Brother, oh, they got brother so-and-so, oh, we going to jail. You just know, based on probability, the probability is not guesswork, it's based on past thoughts, past actions, present, future, projections, and you're able to put it all together just in a fraction of a thought, and you're able to make accurate decisions in life. So you want to use your human intuition as well as your instinct. You want to be balanced in all things. You want to realize that your intuition is a force that exists in you. Master Muhammad said there's 9 forces. We're going to go through the 7 dimensions and these 9 forces one more time. The 9 forces: attraction, repulsion, cohesion, assimilation, dissimulation, creation, projection, reception. The highest one, intuition. The physical, the emotional, the mental, the spiritual, the soul, the self. The highest one, willpower. You being God, You being goddess, you not know thyself, have wisdom of thyself, understand thyself, do for self. Now you're using your God power. Assalamu alaikum, shalom, hotep, peace on these streets. I'm your brother in the struggle, Brother Minister Alifullah. Peace. Oh yeah, remember, only the messenger's message will guide you through this age of mess. One love, fam. Peace, peace.
Islam Allah.
Islam Allah, peace to the gods. Know what I mean? We down north just chilling, know what I mean? You know, the family's here, want peace on these streets, know what I mean? Staying out the way, staying positive. But remember, we say the messenger's message will guide you through this age of mess. Here with my beloved comrade, Brother Minister Najim Allah.
Islam Allah. How the brothers and the sisters doing out here in the wilderness of North America?
That's right.
In the hells of North America.
Hells of North America.
You know what I mean? Down Allah's Mama gave us a set plan to be successful here in these hells of North America, though. It's all about us stepping up and doing, getting the truth and living the truth.
That's right.
That's one thing about the truth. They say the truth is satisfying, but the untruth is terrifying.
True indeed.
Wake up.
Wake up, family.
It's time. You know what I mean?
It's that time.
The angels are on their way. The angels are here.
Yeah,
They're
family.
here.
I mean, we've been
Always.
looking for y'all for 66 trillion years.
Beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Miss y'all like old folks miss soft shoes.
Yes,
But we
sir.
going to run. You know what I mean? We just wanted to give our love and greetings to everybody. You know what I mean? And push the messenger program. It's going to get greater later, family. Stay in tune and stay in touch.
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum.